Welcome back to Little Tourneys yet again. This is our Gold Division tournament. I am Rainbow Sasha on color casting.
And I'm Reform Shark on play-by-play classing for you guys.
And we are going to be getting to the finals right now, which is a best of one, so just one, of a game between Do It No Balls and Jenay.
Do It No Balls, man. They're a really good team with a really interesting name, I have to say.
They are, and immediately coming out are going to be band champions. So far we have Wukong, Yasuo, Vi, Kassadin, and Elise, and one more coming in within the next 2 seconds.
Got some really strong bands
Ooh.
there. I'm seeing that Wukong in quite a lot, actually. About just a bunch of games we've had streamed here, like the Wukong band's been a strong band, but I can definitely see how Wukong's become a strong champion.
We are going to see that Kha'Zix as the last but first pickup for No Balls is be that Lee Sin, which the Lee Sin that I believe we actually deemed 2 games in a row to be MVP. In his last game that we casted on stream, he went, I believe, 10-0-24.
Lee Sin's been definitely showing up. Lee Sin's definitely been a very popular pick for a long time now. He's been a really strong champion just because of his maneuverability and his abilitiness to move around the map and other aspects in that. And I'd love to see this Wukong make some very good plays here.
And for the purple side, might potentially have those first bot lane pickup. Gonna be insta-locking possibly onto that Thresh and Caitlyn.
That Thresh Caitlyn bot lane is something we've seen a lot throughout LCS, throughout regular matches, throughout ranked, just everywhere. That Thresh Caitlyn bot lane has been a very strong combo. And I definitely think that that's really a combo to look out for. I can definitely see Caitlyn getting the exact farm she needs and bot lane really snowballing here if they don't play this just right. Because while Thresh is a very good support, he can also do the damage needed to take out some early game ADCs or some early game offcast supports. But so we definitely want to watch out for this bot lane here. I definitely think that most of the action is going to come from them.
And picked up the bot lane in return is going to be Lunacy onto Ezreal, as well as it looks like a Leona being picked up. So Leona being picked up
combo.
again.
Yeah, that Ezreal-Leona combo is also something we've seen again. Leona and Thresh, I would have to say, are kind of some of the top supports this time around. Blitzcrank has kind of been thrown out of the mix. I don't want to say he's bad, but he's definitely not being picked as much as, say, Leona and Thresh. And I think that's just because they realize that while Blitzcrank is a very good pick, Leona and Thresh have much more potential in the lane, and definitely with that Ezreal, with that Caitlyn, I'd love to see some really back and forth trades here at bot lane, and we're looking to see a great game.
And now we have the Lulu and the Pantheon being locked in for Jenay, and in complete return we have that Jarvan mid being locked in, as well as that Zac for BenQ being locked in for No Balls.
That's Lulu, not Zac versus Lulu, but Jarvan versus Lulu. Jarvan mid something I don't see a lot. I definitely think it'd be very viable against Lulu. While Lulu does do that burst damage, Jarvan can return just as much burst damage as she does. So I like the team's comps here. They definitely got some late game kind of team fight CC type deals. The game's gonna be very interesting as well.
It is, and as we've seen before in the 2 previous matchups of Lulu Jarvan, Jarvan's taken the lead in every case and has won that lane, even without ganks coming his way, with, I believe it's Base World onto Lee Sin, ganking primarily for the top and bot lanes and leaving Jarvan to farm his own mid. He is in that position where he just dominates that lane, but for that top lane pickup, it is going to be Renekton being locked in.
Yeah, Renekton's definitely a strong pick. We see kind of these ordinary picks, and I want to say that it's a bad thing for the teams here, but if you can mix it up, I definitely say you should. You've got the Renekton build, and you know how to build against Renekton. How to you know how to counter his playstyle, and I think that Zac's very good for that, to kind of maneuver around and jump around Renekton and kind of do the damage that he needs to do. But I'd love to see some mixing up in the lanes here. Like we've seen this Caitlyn Thresh times before. We've seen Leona at bot lane a lot. While it's very it also gets a bit boring. Like I don't want to say that teams aren't going to play well or they aren't going to make the plays, which I know these teams will, but I'd love to see some mixing up here.
Is very true, and I wonder if the mix-up might be possibly coming out in forms of lane swapping because honestly, in my personal opinion, I would send a 2v1 to counter that Jarvan. I would send that Kate Thresh to go against Stay Heated because that's what he does. He dominates that lane. Again, as I mentioned before, he shut down 2 other Lulus before, and one of those Lulus is, I believe it was one of our champions, Lag, I swear, who's won a team that's won our championship, but beforehand, but that mid lane was just so weak compared to Jarvan. He just rolled on out with the kills constantly, and not even starting off with the kills. He started off on equal. They started off equal trades, and it got to the point where he got an assist or two, and he just went steamrolled as a train, as you do as Jarvan, all the way through with the damage. I believe he picked up the Hydra. He had a Black Cleaver. I'm trying to think of what else he got, but he from like that point on, he got a Hextech Drinker going in that Maul Malmortius, and he just completely negated anything Lulu tried to do to him.
Yeah, Jarvan's really a kind of easy champion to pick up. Like once you get those assists or once you get those kills, there's really no stopping him if you don't have either the play style or the champion to kind of counter him. Lulu, it doesn't really do too good for that because Jarvan does a lot of damage, and Lulu builds that counter, then he can definitely take that Lulu, and I think that's what we've seen a lot. Plus that Black Cleaver to just do the extra hammer of damage there, and Jarvan really just can't do anything against. Well, no, Lulu can't do anything against Jarvan. Jarvan's just snowballing the whole way. But we'll see how it turns out here. Well, like you said, they send that bot lane up there to kind of up a bit. But I'm definitely looking to see a game. Like all in all, it's going to be an amazing game. I love seeing the Ezreal here and the Caitlyn. We definitely see team fights in the late game as like the Ezreal and Caitlyn stand back and the Jarvan or the Pantheon initiate, and we see these kind of clash while the ADCs are just picking off damage. And we definitely see Lulu here for the ults and the saves. But I mean, while Lulu can go in for the saves, Leona has the stuns to be able to take out an entire team. With that one ult, she can shut down probably their entire team without even realizing that she had done it. But if Caitlyn can stay out of the way of that, I think they can pick up a couple of kills. It's definitely going to be up to Caitlyn and Ezreal to kind of play smart and position themselves.
Another thing is that right now, a lot of CCs coming out for no balls. They have a lot coming out in terms of damage, but they have that Leona lockdown. They have a good amount of CC coming out from Zac as well as Jarvan on his own position, and we're gonna rely a lot on primarily. I want to see the focus of this game, and it's probably going to go that direction anyway, but it's going to be on Jarvan and Lee Sin because those are the two primary people who are going to be making the plays in this game. Lee Sin coming to that bot lane and top lane is what's going to be picking up kills for those side lanes, and Jarvan mid, again, as I mentioned before, just such a high potential opponent against Lulu. Now, based on the
Looking,
comps, oh, I was going to ask a question real fast, but based on the
go
comps, who do
ahead.
you think has the early and who has the late game?
I think that the blue team definitely has the early game here. They've got that Ezreal Leona bot lane that can also roam after taking that tower. And Ezreal Leona roaming is probably the scariest thing I've ever seen in my entire life. And with that Zac, he's got that early game damage, that passive. And there's really no stopping Zac in the beginning of the game because you can't really lock him down unless you got a stun, and which they really don't have here.
Again, very true, but I that top lane is going to be very finicky for the ganks, but Pantheon is able to offer a global ult, which is something that's going to that is going to either make or break fights, either at Baron, Dragon, or just in terms of getting something in terms of pushing for those tops and bots as well when it comes to ganking. And he does have that stun, so he might be able to get a gank out onto Zac in a proper manner and possibly have Renekton come in, get the stun off with the double dash and just do damage.
Yeah, a good thing about having that Pantheon there is if you do shut down that Zac early game, then you'll be good. Like if you shut down the Zac and that takes out one of their tanks, and you keep him kind of behind in farm, and I think that's going to be a huge thing for them shutting down that top lane. Because after they do that, I wouldn't say the whole team crumbles, but a big part of that team is taken away.
Exactly. And I I honestly like the way that I wanna believe in Lulu, I do. Based on the stats I've seen from Stay Heated on this drive-in for that mid lane, Lulu just shut down. And I want to believe that this Lulu might be able to take the game and re I guess reinforce my faith in Lulu mid because I haven't played it much. Lulu is my favorite support in terms of adorableness and in terms of utility, but I want to see if this Lulu will be able to take away the wins that Jarvan has accumulated around other people who have played Lulu.
Yeah, we seen Stay Heated play before, and he's an amazing Jarvan. He's an amazing mid laner, and against this Lulu, which I wouldn't say is a primary mid pick, while she has been getting very popular, she did start off as a support, as you've said. As you've stated, she is a very good support. But to see her against such a strong champion, it's kind of like either she has to pay plays
I just need
or
to
it's
mention
not gonna happen.
something might be coming up. They are doing a bit of very.
It's
Oh my
snowball.
god, she's just out of sight, but she's going to be baiting, kind of. Oh, I want to
I'm
see if
actually
Refresh
not
might throw a hook.
I'm actually not loaded in here. I'm still looking at the loading screen, looking
Oh,
at these
I'm sorry, but they
amazing
are getting the hook.
skins.
The flash from Leona already being burnt at a minute 15 here in the bot lane. So they kind of went in. Thresh landed a hook, and she just went over that wall. Whew. So
All right, and I
again,
am loaded in here. Finally.
yeah, so very basic starts coming out. No one's doing any more invading. They got the flash from Leona, which is good because she's not gonna be able to do flash or anything flashy in terms of landing Zenith Blades or going in for that shield for at least a few minutes now because of that.
Yeah, and we look at how they have a very good start off here. Kind of taking out that Leona's flash is kind of going to prevent her from either getting away or pulling off those crazy stuns, like you said. But I want to kind of move over to top lane here. This Zac versus this Renekton. Renekton did get that Doran's Blade, so we know he's looking to do damage, and Zac did pick up the cloth armor. So we definitely see the kind of, I guess you could say, counter by Zac there to kind of ward off some of that damage. So it's definitely going to be about the plays that they make here.
Very true, and he's already coming out because of the Dorans. He's gonna be doing a lot of damage, and I want to see if he might potentially go for the triple Dorans we've been seeing in the EU LCS. It's something that I believe Wicked has tried for the first time, and they won a game. Alliance picking up a very strong win there, actually, earlier this week. But he's going just in laying as much damage as possible, getting that Dorans. So I want to see if he might potentially go for something different.
Yeah, he's definitely doing what he needs to do at top lane here as far as kind of zoning out that Zac from getting his farm, because he did do a very good job of pushing the lane. And he did damage on Zac, which is what he, built to do. I think that he's going to kind of bully this lane here. He's going to try to kind of put the Zac in a, shutter. Going to try to put a face of fear on this Zac, so Zac doesn't try anything that he could possibly win. And as you can see, he's definitely putting the damage down here. And I don't really think Zac wants to keep going in for these kind of small initiations, small trades off here, because you obviously see that Renekton's coming out for the win. But here comes the back gank by Lee Sin here, and they are going to push up on this Renekton. There goes the stun by Renekton on Lee Sin, backing them off there. Zac did not want to keep going in for that. Renekton could have turned around for that Zac there, but I think that Lee Sin probably would have taken him out with the double blue buffs there, so that was a good thing for him to land that stun and make them back off instead of trying to fight the whole thing.
Very true, and in the top lane, yet again, another fight.
It looks like Renekton's going to do the damage here, but there goes the Ignite by Zac. Not enough to kill that Renekton. He's going to get away with a very low amount of health there, and Zac is going to heal up that health. Renekton still is farming up there, getting that health back, leveling up there, and he is level 4, and you can see that he's definitely getting the CS in his favor. He goes in here for the stun, and it looks like Pantheon's going to come in from the back, but Lee Sin also tries to go in for the kick, but misses, and there goes the pop by the Pantheon there, and they're going to try to pick up this kill here. I would say Lee Sin could go in here for the Renekton, giving him that gold and putting the damage on Zac there. That's gonna render Zac kind of bad in the lane. Like, he's not gonna be able to do much now that Renekton's got that first blood gold.
Exactly, and something to be mentioned for this bot lane, that was an amazing gank on the top. Both junglers came in at the proper time, but it looks like it just Lee Sin wasn't able to do as favorable as Pantheon was. Again, he came in with that stun, that lockdown, and just did well.
There goes the call in for the gank there by Pantheon, going in on that Lulu there, but it doesn't like they're going to make it. Lulu is doing the damage on Pantheon, which is what I said we were afraid of. There goes the kick by Lee Sin, pushing Lulu back behind that turret. Lee Sin's going to stop going again because he is taking the damage from that turret there, and he's not going to be able to make out that one alive. Pantheon does go in, gets the stun, and pulls off the kill on Lee Sin. Nice pick up there. Looks like Pantheon is going to get away. Jarvan does not want to fight this because we see that Lulu is doing damage, and that's something that we were hoping to see Lulu, was that she could fight this Jarvan as much as this Jarvan was fighting her.
Exactly, and the good thing is that now that Lulu has an assist, she's more gold than what Jarvan's gonna have. He also is a little bit behind in farm, but we do have Lulu now picking up that Chalice, does have that Doran's Ring still, going for a green and a pink ward, as well as those health pots, whereas J4 has only been able to pick up a pickaxe and that Doran shield.
Yeah, she got those wood there, which I think was very good because Jarvan did call in for that gank, and she's trying to kind of become gank-proof. And for Lulu, that's a big thing. She definitely wants to be able to control her lane and know when to back off and when to go in. And that's a very good thing for her to pick up there. She definitely made a smart move with that one.
Another thing to be mentioned is bot lane. So far, it looks like that Kate is ahead, only in terms of CS. Because she is, the Ignite's taking down onto Zac in the top lane.
Man,
it does
Zac
look like
down
Crocodile's going to be picking up the kill there.
Hunting in the ocean right there for the Crocodile. Looks like Zac is going to go down. He is going to push up on this turret, but not going to be able to get any real damage in on it. And mid, here goes a quick confrontation. The Lulu ult goes up, giving her that extra damage. Pantheon's coming in from the side. Jarvan might want to back off here. It looks like he's not going to make it out. Lee Sin comes in for the help, and we've seen Lee Sin come in many times here for the help on Jarvan. That's kind of putting him behind, that they're not winning these fights. Jarvan does pick up the kill there on Pantheon, but it doesn't look like they're going to get the kill on Lulu. They don't have enough damage. Lee Sin is going to go in, but they do pick up the kill on Lulu there. She probably should have backed off when she had the chance, which I think she was kind of playing around with Jarvan a bit too much there, knowing that Lee Sin was there. Even though he was low, she probably should have backed off when she had the chance.
In that fight, automatically from the get-go, there should not have been a ping to come down because Jarvan went in, had that Cataclysm, went on to Lulu, got the damage down, Cataclysm walls fell, and he was still doing damage to her. What she instead tried to do is she went back in with the ult, tried to engage, but did not do enough to render it useful for Pantheon to come in. So Pantheon comes in, does what he can, does what he possibly can, but still gets countered nonetheless. Lee Sin assisting in 2 kills, which is amazing.
Renekton is putting the damage here on Zac, and I think the fear is kind of realizing on Zac here. Renekton can definitely win this lane. He's bullying really well here. He's taking the trades and not getting any trade back from this Zac, which is kind of what I was afraid of from this top lane here. We don't want to see this Zac back off because we know that with enough build and with enough strength, this Zac can kind of push up on this Renekton so he doesn't get the early game here. It looks like Jarvan did pick up a kill there on Lulu. Jarvan's pretty low, so he's going to back off there.
Yeah, he came in amazingly and targeted right on her in the correct amount of time. He came in with the flag, got the knockoff, the damage down, but also using that Tiamat to his advantage and just ripped her to shreds underneath tower nonetheless. Took a few tower hits, but did not fall. Lulu was not in a good position at the time. She had previously been tanking minions to the face in positions where she could have just let the lane push, tried to farm, have been in a safer position, and not have fallen.
Definitely. We look at this bot lane here, and it's kind of stale. They haven't really been doing much. Of course, Purple Team's been pushing up here on the turret. They have got a substantial amount of damage on the turret, but it doesn't look like there's many engages going on from the blue team here. And I think if blue team played a bit more aggressively, they could have stopped some of that turret damage. But I think that they're trying to realize that this Thresh Caitlyn bot lane is nothing to be played with.
That being said, we do have Jarvan making his way and is currently at the bot tower, might come in. His Cataclysm is up, so they might be going on to the gank.
And there goes the Leona stun there, kind of sudden, purple team back there. Thresh does try to go in, but does not get it. At top lane here, we have Pantheon and Renekton fighting this Zac and Lee Sin. It looks like Zac is going to go down here, but he is going to come back up. They're not going to be able to pick off those little slimelings there. Pantheon is going to pick up the kill on Lee Sin. Lee Sin probably should not have chased him into the jungle there. Knowing that Zac wasn't back yet, knowing that Pantheon is going to do more damage than him at this time, that wasn't a smart idea. Zac did go in there, but again, bursted down by this Renekton. Crocodile's just hunting it up here, and he's winning every exchange. He needs to quickly realize that he cannot make the exchanges here versus Renekton based on base damage, but he did get the Ignite off, killing that Renekton plus the tower shot. That was a very lucky shot by him. He's really playing kind of dangerous.
So something to be noted is Lee Sin had used his Dragon Kick to make sure that Pantheon didn't come in anymore under tower, which I honestly think is a misplay because Pantheon at the time was taking damage from tower. You could have just let him come in, continue the damage. Oh, and a fight in the bot lane.
Oh, nice stun by Leona there, picking up the double stun, but it looks like they are going to get away. They are kind of running away here, but it looks like Lee Sin's going to go in for the kick, and here comes this Pantheon, coming straight down on top. Not going to do much damage, but is going to get the stun off, getting that kill on Leona. It looks like they're not going to turn this fight around towards that Lee Sin there, and Caitlyn does get the ace in the hole, dead on the Lee Sin's back, and it looks like, Ezreal is going to block a Pantheon spear there, very luckily, but Pantheon did pick up the kill on Ezreal. Great ult by Pantheon to turn around that, and that's exactly what you were talking about during Champion Select, the turnaround of fights here by that Pantheon ult.
And that was executed perfectly. They saw him come. They saw Lee Sin coming in a prime opportunity, and while they did get chunked pretty low, Lee Sin committed in a situation where he didn't need to. He could have just left the fight alone. They could have just backed off, went about their ways. But then he went a little step further, and Pantheon came in with the man drop and did what he did best and baked a plenty amount of kills, allowing one to be picked up by Kate and a double for himself, picking up onto Leona and Ezreal. So just an amazing, amazing play going out. And the ace in the hole to finish off onto Lee Sin was a beautifully executed play.
And we see purple teams leading by about 3k gold here because of these kills that they're picking off, and they're doing a great job of like map awareness. And looks like right now this fight here at top lane is this Jarvan versus this Renekton. Renekton doesn't like he's pulling off enough damage here, and Jarvan is going to make Renekton back up, but it looks like their whole team's kind of gathering around. We see the top lane and mid lane and as well as the jungle kind of gathering around here. Jarvan is going to get away with the stun over the wall, but he's not going to get away far. They are going to go in for the kill here. It looks like Renekton is going to pick up the kill on Jarvan, and Zac does go in there for the kind of the CC. He is getting that damage done, but isn't enough damage to back them off. They are going to try to dive down here towards the second tower in the top lane, and they are chasing the Zac, but this Lulu is coming around back, trying to get this Lee Sin. She is gonna pick up the kill on the Lee Sin. Her positioning by Lulu to pick that up. My bad. It does look like they are gonna get the kill on Lee Sin and the kill down here at top lane that they dove for.
And that was an amazingly timed ult from Renekton. He used it in a prime situation, using that Dominus, got him kills, let him stay alive, as well as giving him enough health to go under and then pick up the kill onto Zac. So beautifully executed there. And then Lulu, just off of the distance under tower, picks up onto Lee Sin. So getting herself a little bit of extra gold in her pocket. She now has that chalice, gonna be building that Thetis Codex. We'll see what she backs now because she's gonna have to go straight for that Athens, and it is coming out. And hopefully a second pair of boots or possibly the start of that Lich Bane pretty soon. But two ults actually being used right now. Ezreal's and Leona's, the solar flare being wasted trying to take out this dragon, but now we have Pantheon coming down with the ult, but they are just gonna go for possibly a fight.
There goes the team fight breakout here at Dragon, and they are gonna block that ace in the hole there by that Caitlyn. But what blue team is realizing that purple team has the gold lead, and they're definitely snowballing here, and that's from great ult usage by both Pantheon and Renekton, and we see that they're picking up the fights here, and that's what purple team is really good at doing in this fight right here in this game. Them picking up Dragon, extending that gold lead is putting blue team at a real hamper.
Lulu picking up a blue for herself in that fight. It was amazingly executed. They took out the primary targets that they needed to take out and then focus onto the dragon, getting that gold back into the team, expanding their lead even more so. Now we have global gold back into the team. People are going to be buying more. hopefully the start of that Seeker's Arm Guard coming off from Lulu soon, get that Zhonya's down. But for everyone else, it allowed Renekton to get that giant spot on top of the Ravenous Hydra he already has, so that damage, and now the health that's going to be coming out.
We see Zach getting kind of stuck out here at top. Both Lee Sin and Jarvan are coming here to back him up. You know he can't fight that Renekton alone, and this is a great engagement by the entire team here to pick up this 3-man gank on Jarvan. But Jarvan did pick up the kill on Renekton there. Or actually, Renekton picked up the kill on Lee Sin, my bad, and Jarvan did pick up the kill on Renekton, as I stated. But Pantheon's going for the chase here on Zac. It doesn't like he's going to be able to pick it up, so he is just going to go for the minion farm there. But Lulu is going to come around to pick up this kill on Zac, which is what she's been doing all game. From Lee Sin to Zac here, it looks like she's kind of being the team assassin. Oh man, he did get away with the flash there, and a very lucky lack of damage by Lulu.
Yeah, a sad result of that fight. We do have Zac sadly surviving, but Lulu having to use the wild growth makes sure she didn't die under tower, and they are actually going to apply some pressure to that mid lane. So they're going for objectives as well as kills at this time.
Yeah, we definitely see Purple Team playing the objective here, and we see they got that dragon, they're picking up the kills as well as towers, and I think that's what Purple Team's gonna use as their kind of heal here. They're kind of sitting on these objectives, this gold lead, to pull them through the game, and it's definitely working out for them. There goes the Thresh Lantern there, getting that Pantheon out of the fight.
Beautifully done. He's currently 5-1, and you don't want him dying any more than he already has at this point, because he's so large. He has that giant spell, as well as the brutalizer and that elder lizard, so he's doing a decent amount of damage, but at this point you don't want to shut him down anymore. Want him to keep scaling, and that's what he's going to do, because he's going to be that secondary and primary tank as well as Renekton, so those are going to be the front line that are going to be dishing out the damage as well as tanking. So leaving him and saving him was a good play.
Yeah, we definitely want to commend Pantheon and Renekton here for being the MVPs for the Purple Team. Looks like they're going to close in on Jarvan here. There goes the miss by Caitlyn there for that slow, and Jarvan is going to pull out of there, but there goes the Thresh pullback. A total rejection there of the escape by Jarvan by Thresh. And it looks like Purple Team is definitely snowballing down the lane. There's not really much that Blue Team can do now to stop them. I would say definitely picking up objectives here. But here goes a team fight. That Ezreal going out, not doing much damage. The Thresh wall's going, slowing that Leona, not slowing her enough to keep her out of the fight. Thresh did pick up the kill on Lee Sin with the help of Caitlyn there. Caitlyn is very low. And Caitlyn does not have her, and that would have definitely been an ace in a hole there on Leona, but it looks like Purple Team's kind of turning around here. Not that they ever had to turn around in the first place. Zac is going to go in for the kill. A great kill there by Zac. They did take down that tower, and there goes the rodeo by Thresh there, keeping that Zac up in the air with the pull, and they are going to close in on this Zac, and he is going to die, and they're going to lock him inside of that Jarvan ult, and there goes the Thresh pull, pulling him out, doing the damage there. Looks like Jarvan is going to pick up the kill, as well as Renekton picking up the kill on Jarvan there. But it definitely a good initiation by the Purple Team. We saw Thresh playing the way he needed to play, pulling the primary targets out of the fight and keeping them alone to themselves for Caitlyn to pick off.
So let me just start by saying that was an amazing fight. What Purple Team is, they came down, they hurdled at mid, but what they, in that entire time, they've been 4 people pushing while Lulu's been taking a turret bot lane, which allows them to do a lot more, because now that they push 2 lanes, they're going to have more gold on that team. But I just have to go and commend Thresh on his hooks. Beautifully done, getting them right at the prime moments, as we saw in that mid lane when they were closer to the purple side of the turret, when the 3 of them collapsed onto them. That's when the fight entirely started, and they took that fight all the way down to the inhibitor tower, not taking the inhibitor tower, but doing enough. Also his hooks onto the cataclysm that came out, so Jarvan being hooked twice in that fight after reviving, just doing so much.
Yeah, I definitely want to commend Lulu for going to pick up that tower there. They definitely are stuck on playing those objectives, which I think is something that a lot of teams have kind of lost the appeal to. Like, we don't see the Blue Team trying to pick up like objectives here, and we see the Purple Team kind of capitalizing on everything they do. That Lulu picking up that turret got them that 10k gold that they're using to just kind of throw at the other team. They're definitely snowballing here, and this is what we were afraid of this entire game. This is exactly what we were talking about back in the loading screen. And Renekton is going to go in this 1v4, but getting pushed out there by the slap in the face by Jarvan. He knows he cannot pick off all those kills, so he's going to back off there, just kind of doing a bit of a poke and pull. That Ezreal.
I apologize. I had a bit of an allergy attack, but again, just shoving so much and proving to be dangerous. Right now, we have a full support item being built onto Thresh at this time, where Leona hasn't even opted for anything remotely close to the Target Shield or Spell Thieves, or even going for the Agent Coin. She just kind of stuck with going for Sightstone, which is not necessarily where you want to be in the situation of a support, because you either want to get that slow, you want to be able to shield, or you want to get that speed buff for that Shurelya's on. And right now, she's kind of gimping her team by being in a position where she does not have that.
Most definitely, we see her kind of going for the Needless Rod here, and she did pick that up, and she is picking off kills here. We've seen her go down towards lanes plenty of times getting the kills here, but there goes the Leona stun there, and there goes the collapse on the purple team. Blue team is definitely realizing what they need to do, catch them off guard, which is what they did right there. They definitely collapsed down on that entire team, pulling that, and it looks like they are going to go in for this mid tower here, but Thresh and Lulu are converging. They are going to pick up the mid tower, the massive amounts of damage by the entire team, and looks like they are realizing that playing the objective is something they definitely need to do. But we see Renekton coming up from the back here. We're just waiting to see what they're going to do with that. Okay, we see the Renekton coming in from the back here, kind of warding off these two players back here while they're kind of playing around with this Jarvan. They did get the kill on him, and there goes the Pantheon down on the Lee Sin, but it looks like he is going to call it back. And they are going to pick up the kill on Jarvan here. They get the blue team pretty low, and we see the ace in the hold there, getting the damage there done on Lee Sin, and the pull by Thresh on Leona, pulling her back from escaping. Lulu picking up the kill. Lulu getting the double kill there, getting the kill on Zac by Caitlyn. Lulu is definitely proving herself to be more than just a support here. She's proven herself to be what I would call the LeBlanc of this team. She's definitely pulling off the assassin kills here, being the mid laner that we wanted to see her be. Looks like they are going to go for Baron here, playing those objectives.
They do need to play for those objectives, because what it's going to do, it's going to give them that bonus AD, the bonus AP, and the regens that they need to keep continually fighting, which is what their fights have been all about this entire game. And their fights just last so long that they move from one side of the map to the other, usually in that mid lane. So them picking that up, securing it for themselves, when we do have the Ezreal being shot, they didn't have much vision, they just kind of were hinted at it, but they didn't know that they were directly doing it. They guessed, but it's okay, because it's going to be up in another 30 seconds.
Ezreal has been going in for the hits here by that ult, trying to pick off as many objectives as he can, but he's been missing it every time. Looks like blue team is going to converge that mid lane here.
Yeah, they're going to be coming for that lane, because that's primarily where their focus is looking for, because they can have 4 people do a 4v5 while Lulu just goes and takes towers, and that's pretty strong. That you can 4v5 a fight and Zac
that miss.
Good dodge.
It definitely would have been anticipating that Thresh pull there. It's what he was doing all game. Kind of got the standstill here going on between the teams. Looks like they're going to have Lee Sin over at top lane here. About to get picked off by this Thresh and Renekton, as it seems, but it looks like he is not going to go in for the fetch, which is definitely a smart decision by them. Lee Sin did try to go in for the kick, which I thought would have been a very dumb decision. He definitely would have gotten immediately taken down. And so they are going to converge in this top lane here, trying to push this top lane turn. Blue is going to come in to defend it, and it looks like here goes the initiation by Jarvan, going in on that Renekton there, picking off that tank, which is not a good thing for them. They shouldn't be focusing the tank here. That's what they're going to do. Lulu is going to go in for the ult, knocking the purple team up, and blue team is doing a lot of damage to the purple team. But it looks like purple team is kind of getting the damage in that they need to do. They're focusing, and they're getting kind of the area of effect damage, which is getting them the double kills that they're getting right now. They have a lot of damage. Like, they're not just focusing one person, they're getting everybody. And here goes the ult here by Pantheon, trying to go in for this Lee Sin, but Lee Sin is going to get away. They are going to converge in. Their team is going to come in and help that Pantheon. They are going to pick up the kill on Leona there. Great by Caitlyn, doing exactly what she needs to do as an ADC, picking off those kills that are running away, not letting them run away too far.
I just want to mention what we saw there. Group on group, a good 5v5 fight where a lot of ults were misplaced. The initiation from Leona trying to get out two of the champions with that solar flare completely diminished because she didn't land the stun from the solar flare at all. She only got one champion, Lulu, with the slow from the AoE on it. So Lulu was not locked down on it all, and everyone else was left to roam, as we saw. And Pantheon, not having to use his ult because he was there, came in and just devastated on the rest of them at the end of the fight, getting the damage off and making sure that Leona just fell. Caitlyn picked the kill in that case, but they're just grouping so well. Death timers are not long enough at this time for them to necessarily keep contesting open face towers right now.
Definitely, I think the mindset there with that Leona ult was that Purple Team is going to back off. And obviously we know that Purple Team is in no position to do that. And for her to place that ult back there, only hitting that Lulu, kind of rendered that team kind of useless there. It looks like Jarvan is going to go in for the initiation here. Purple Team is kind of gathered up, and the blue Zac is going to go in to the back lanes here to pick up this Caitlyn, which is not the thing he needs to be doing. He does not have enough escape mechanisms to be getting out of the fights there, and he is going to get shut down. And there goes the ace in the hole on Lee Sin, not doing much damage. The Nexon is going to dive in there, knowing that he can pick up the kills and take as many tower shots as he wants, because he's just that tanky. He is the team brutalized, and he's definitely doing his job. There goes the stun by Pantheon there. Not being enough damage to pick up the kill. The thresh pool there on Leona, and Lulu does pick up the kill there, showing that she is more than just a support.
Again, that mid laner is just so strong, and she's picked up what she needed to fight, and they are going to be taking this game. Pantheon man dropping, so why not? But these are the GGs coming out.
It was an amazing play by the Purple Team there. That whole game, I think, was a huge play. From to pick up those objectives to picking up the hot tower by Lulu while they were fighting, they had a very good strategy. It looks like Blue Team kind of was collected, but they also lost themselves halfway through that match. They didn't pick up as many objectives as they needed to, and it seemed like they could have done a better job in team fights. That Leona miss on that team fight there was a very big kind of pinnacle of the match. When she missed that ult, that put the other team very far behind as far as CC and the amount of damage they were gonna do, because they just couldn't pull off the slow there to pull in that damage. And I think that after that team fight, we kind of realized that it was all over.
Exactly. So this actually that was the final. So Jenay is actually taking the tournament title this week for the Gold Division tournament, and I honestly believe they deserve it because those thresh hooks were amazing. He honestly wins my MVP vote for this game because just of how accurate they were. There were a few that missed, but he got the ones that they needed. They got the playmaker ones. When they surrounded Jarvan in those situations where they needed to pick him up, where he was a threat, he made sure to take action, got those hooks, and just devastated the rest of the fights, and had amazing plays on top of that.
I definitely want to commend the coolest play of the game to that thresh pull on Zac as he was hopping in the air. Called it the rodeo there, and it looked pretty amazing from my view. Just see that Zac in the air with that tie around his neck.
Exactly, and I've seen hooks like those before, but that one was substantially over the top, and he was just riding him around and just took him down as well in that fight. And those were beautiful plays coming out from just about everyone. Those man drops, those Lulu ults, as well as Renekton coming in, diving with the Dominus, just proving me as much as a threat as possible. So a good game going to Jenny.
I think that was a very good game there. We definitely witnessed some amazing plays, and we definitely witnessed. We noticed that once they got those objectives, it was going to snowball from there. The next time picked up the items he needed, and looking at the graph here for the damage dealt to champion, the amount of damage that the other team's most damage dealt from Marvin was that 15,000 there, and Renekton picked up 27,000. A substantial amount. They definitely didn't have the items that they needed nor the damage that they needed from that team there. And predicting it from the beginning, seems like I was wrong. It looks like that not Thresh Caitlyn, but that Renekton did pick up the early game there. And I was definitely wrong about who was going to pick up the early game. But I love the plays by Lulu in the mid lane. And it was a very good play by the whole team and all.
Exactly. And just overall, I have to give it to Jenna in this game because they took down and they brought my faith back to Lulu. As I mentioned before, that's what I wanted to see in that game, and that's what they did. And they shut down that Jarvan, who's been as much a threat as possible to other Lulus in this game.
Definitely kudos to them for bringing your faith back, making Sasha happy.
So this is actually going to be us signing off at this point because the games are over and Jenna has taken the game, and we will be back, I believe, tomorrow actually. So not necessarily stay tuned, but you're welcome to join us for those games as well. If you don't know what factions are, you can go to leaguefactions.net and I'll explain a little bit. What they are is they are lore-based League of Legends games where you fight depending on what arc it is, because there is a storyline with it where you fight for different sides. So I believe the current arc has Ionia versus Noxus, and they have champions that would ally or fit into the story of who would side with who, and duke it all out to see how the story is going to keep on going. So if you guys want to, you can sign up. They're fun to play. They're very, very hilarious, as well as addicting, and we will be casting them tomorrow either at 3 p.m. EST or 6 p.m. EST. So stay tuned for those.
Be sure to check that out, guys. And this is Reform Shark signing off.